All right, so what we're going to be looking at is the absolute genius Candace Owens is going to speak about the this quote unquote black card. She's doing this video with Prager University, and again, I have to always repeat when I make that statement that they're not an actual university. They're not an accredited university, so claiming that their university is some pure huge BS. But she's going to talk about the black card here and explain basically why she refuses to use this black card. And what she's not really going to understand is the is the fact that she's actually using it just in a different way, and it's pretty hilarious. But let's see what Candace Owens has to say about this so-called black card and why she refuses to use it because she wants to work hard.
You've heard about the black card, right? No, not the one from Visa or American Express. This one is much more valuable. There are entire organizations that have been built upon it, and individuals that have used it to acquire both wealth and influence. If this sounds like something you might wish to own, you should know that there is only one way you can get your hands on it. You have to be born with black skin. That's the only requirement. Really. You can be poor, middle class, rich, it doesn't matter. The black card will still confer upon you an entire history of oppression, even if you've never been oppressed. Flash the black card and most white people will cower. Play the black card expertly and you can win awards, make millions, all the while claiming that the people who got you there somehow hate you. With a black card, you can sell books full of indecipherable prose, because with a card that powerful, who cares if your words make any sense? You can call yourself a civil rights leader and shake down multinational corporations, or you can torch your own neighborhood because you didn't like the outcome of a grand jury verdict. Ironically, the people you might think have the most legitimate claim to the black card refuse to use it. Take my grandfather, for instance. He raised me from the time I was 9 years old. Born in 1941 in rural North Carolina, he started working at age 5, laying out tobacco to dry on a sharecropping farm. Jim Crow, separate drinking fountains, and the KKK were ever-present realities. He was 17 when he married my grandmother. He made a living cleaning homes and office buildings until he saved up enough money to open his own cleaning business. The thing is, he never played any card. Nor did my grandmother. If they had problems, they didn't blame anybody. They just fixed them. And they raised me to do the same. Chores were a requirement in their household. So was reading the Bible every morning before school. I didn't like the Bible readings and I hated the chores, but I realize now that these small acts of discipline, although sometimes stifling, had a strong, positive impact on my character. I was a first-generation college student. This was supposed to be the ticket to prosperity, but it wasn't. I left college with a mountain of debt and no practical skills. I had just $80 in my bank account and very few prospects. I could have given up. I could have dug deep into my history and declared myself a natural product of ancestral oppression. I could have played the black card and absolved myself of all responsibility for my own stupid decisions. Except I didn't. Because it would have destroyed my grandfather's legacy. I am proud that he had the fortitude to turn nothing into something, and I have no intention of reversing that something back into a nothing. My attitude comes with a price, however, because if you are born black and you don't accept your natural status as a victim, then the validity of your blackness is immediately called into question. Well, so be it. If believing in myself, if accepting the responsibility for my failures somehow disqualifies me from owning an imaginary card, then let me be the first to declare that I don't want one. I also don't want Cornell West, Al Sharpton, or insert anyone else who uses their skin color to game the system as a role model. I already have my grandfather. If there is one thing that my family history has taught me, it's that I do not need a black card or an imaginary anything to make something of myself. For the record, my grandfather, now retired, lives in a home that he and my grandmother built on a plot of land they purchased in North Carolina, the very same sharecropping farm that he worked on as a small child. His story is unique. His story is beautiful because it's American. And that's the only card I've ever been interested in playing. I'm Candace Owens for Prager University.
All right, so obviously Candace Owens is not the brightest that there is. She's obviously a grifter. Now, if you don't know what Candace Owens did, basically a little, I guess, short summary of what happened to Candace Owens is she used to be, at least ostensibly liberal. I think she was like making fun of Trump or something like that. And she was making this, basically was a doxing site. It was pretty like crazy scary. I was like, what the hell? It was like basically if you find someone online you don't like, it's this huge database to put their real name and then have them on. It was insanely dangerous, and it was really scary, because you're like gonna just dox people who say something online. You're gonna put, their jobs and their occupation in danger, and it was just a horrible idea. And so basically, it epically flopped. It flopped horribly because everyone, including the Young Turks, came out and said this is insanely stupid. And this should not happen because it's just horrible, right? So basically what she did is this flopped. And immediately afterwards, like almost instantaneously after that, she literally just all of a sudden posted this video to a channel saying, why I left liberalism, or something to that extent, right? It's the Dave Rubin, I used to be a liberal trope, it's that card. And she gets 2 cards in that front because not only did she at least ostensibly used to be a liberal, but she also, she's black, so that gives her extra when it comes to, the accreditation by the conservatives, because PragerU, whenever you see a video like when they do one on the 3/5 compromise, it's not a white guy talking, it's a black woman, and it's for an obvious reason. It's because it's the same, Fox News thing where they would bring on black people to shit on black people. It's what they would do. So basically what she did is immediately after that flopped, and it completely failed epically because everyone came out against it. All conservatives, including progressives too, the Young Turks came out against it. And so immediately that was her failsafe, I guess. That was her backup plan. She used to be like this SJW loser, and then she turned into this fake conservative now who's been enlightened, because it's basically this new thing that's so cool. And it was her failsafe in case the doxing website failed. And so that was the truth. Now, there's not all that much to say about this video, because the truth is that this video is ripe with massive hypocrisy, and I'll explain to you why. The whole entire video is, the premise of it is that there's this thing that's the black card, which black people use to get out of blaming themselves or putting blame on themselves for issues that, that she believes is their fault. And it's this thing that they use that gives them credit where it's not deserved. But the irony of this entire video is the whole reason why she's even there and what she's saying is because of the black card. It's just it's like the black card has 2 sides. It's like the front, which it doesn't even really, especially when you're talking about, like, she brought up the point of, I went to college and I had no practicals. Like, okay, so you went to college and you didn't choose a major that would pay you anything because you're a fucking idiot like that. It's like, okay, you play the black card. What does that give you? I don't understand. Does that magically make money? You're rich now? That doesn't do anything. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But anyways, Let's hypothetically say this quote unquote black card exists, right? It'd be like the other side is what she's playing right now, because what she's doing is saying, the only reason why PragerU has her on their whatever propaganda network is because she's black. That's the reason why. It's because she's black and she's supposedly a conservative. I want to put supposedly in there. So this entire video is ripe. It just run amok with massive amounts of irony, because the whole purpose of the video is supposed to be that there is this black card that exists, and oh man, you go to I went to college and I'm a dumb fuck, so I didn't get a major that would actually pay any money, and I could just use the black card, and all of a sudden now I'm chilling it. Like, no, you're what does that even mean? I don't understand that. But anyways, the point here is this video is massively stupid for obvious reasons, and and I don't believe that she read the Bible every morning before school. That's 100% a lie. Don't buy that for even a second. She's just using that to attempt to embellish her story, because it's her business. That's her business. Her business is the story of how she became a conservative as a former black loser SJW, because she was a loser SJW before that. And she says, they use their skin color to game the system. That's what you're doing. You're using your skin color to game the system. That's exactly what you're doing. Your entire shtick is that you're a former black women conservative. So you're using your skin color to game the system. And that's the truth. And I don't know whether she knows that or not. She probably does, but she's really, really stupid on top of that.